Welcome back to the channel. All right, we've got 9 fights for you, and I promise you, this is going to be an epic ride, like a roller coaster, as some would analogize it to. And if you're interested in jumping straight to a specific fight, or I know I will be touting the potential boss solo, I will put timestamps in the description, and you can jump straight to them. But I don't know. I always think it's fun to watch these things all the way through. Here we go, starting off with what should be one of my easiest fights of the war. I always feel a little funky with fight 1. If you saw my last 2 war videos, you know I have a very little faith in the game actually operating properly. And you can tell I'm setting something up here. So there is strike back, I think it is, whatever. It's the node where they get a bar of power when you throw a special. Under no circumstances should I be throwing a bar of power. I'm not getting the greatest RNG. I think some of that is due to Doom's crit resistance here, but we do have 2 neuros going. So we've got a lot going on. I was trying to reparry, but he went in for heavy. And then I don't know why. I cannot explain to you why I threw that special. That is completely on me. I've been complaining about the game a lot lately. That is me. The game did not make me do that. And so here we go. I decided just to block that, but everything should be fine. The only negative is I have had a lot of my neuros fall off. Got a nice repair here. I should just do the same thing. For some reason, decided to dex out of that. He is now throwing the unblockable, which I did not evade. No idea why. Then I don't stay away from him. He's able to passively stun me with the shock. And I've now died. Yeah, I have no way to explain it. I can make a bunch of excuses, but it's not the game's fault. The game did nothing wrong there. That was me. I've got to pick it up together. I've got 8 more fights scheduled in this war against S.A.S, a very good alliance. It's not the time to feel sorry for myself. So here we go. We're going up against this Hercules. I am going to basically play him stun immune. I, again, of course, talked to Taters and Lizer, and Taters was like, look, you're having a great season. Some crappy things have happened that are not really your fault necessarily. Go back to basics, make 5-hit combos if you need to, only intercept when it feels like it's really supernatural. Don't try to force them. He puts together a great game plan. I'm going to have great options for each fight. I know how to do this. Just get out of my own head here. I'm too worried about the game. If the game doesn't work, then that's on the game. But pretend it's just going to work. And so here we go. So I'm fighting this Herc stun immune because, he can be stun immune once he has his feats of strength, which will happen when I knock him down or if he intercepts me, which hopefully he doesn't. And so that's just what I'm doing. I know how to punish the SP1. I don't mind that this fight takes a long time. I need to just kind of get out of my own head, so to speak, for those of you who've played sports or just kind of know that analogy. So here we go. Also, I've got the Infuriate on me, so that, I believe, reduces my defensive ability accuracy, which is another reason to maybe play him stun immune. So, it's just kind of a standard fight. I'm trying to bait this SP1. It's funny to watch this back because you can tell how hesitant I'm feeling, which is not good. For me in war, I like to be the aggressor. I like to feel like I'm controlling the fight, kind of get a control of the AI. And yeah, so that's why this is going to get going a little bit better. But you see that SP2 should stun him. He had a feat of strength, so he's stun immune. But we're going to go in and punish him here. And I think this is going to be over really, really soon. Normally, I would have pulled back for the intercept. I think I had an intercept fail earlier in the fight, if I remember correctly. I was talking over it. And so we didn't even do that. So, all right, cool. Feeling good. Always feels good, to get that initial, icebreaker, let's call it, done. After just making a stupid error against Doom. Moving on now. So we've got this Guardian on Vigor. We're going to go in with Herc. I do believe that Hercules' SP1 gives him an unblockable buff, which would ensure that Guardian would not auto-block my specials. But Taters was very specific. He wanted me to go all the way to my SP3. The guy knows what he's doing when it comes to these game plans, so I don't really question him unless there's just something really I want to make sure I understand or whatever. So I'm going to go to my SP3. You see that I made another mistake. I can tell I was still playing very, very tentatively, very unsure here. So... But now's not the time. If I start having to use too many items, I'm supposed to take the boss. I'm supposed to take, I think, 3, the whole left side of Mini Boss Island, or at least 2 of those fights, and then the boss. That can't happen. That can't happen. We're trying to make masters here. I don't think we've missed masters. I know since I've been in, and 4Loki was making masters well before I showed up. So we've got a war to win here. So I'm just going to block these. I'm not even going to try to evade them. Like right now, I'm just like, get through the fights, solo the fight, move on. So here we go. And you're about to see Tater's strategy of just going to the SB3 worked out absolutely fine. We get that additional damage here. Boom. And he is dead. Very good. So that felt good. And then moving on to, I think we're just going to have a Rag Thor on Buffet, which we will be taking with Archangel. This should be the easiest fight of my map. You see, I threw on the big war boost. Combat regen, just to kind of mitigate any sort of, lessen any sort of health pots I may need to use along the way, because I still had a long way to go. I'm going to actually edit this out. You're going to see I'm checking my masters to make sure I had them correct. All right. And so this was another good, just kind of confidence builder fight, kind of getting me going. You see, you respond late to a parry. Again, these are the sorts of things, like these mistakes happen. But again, I'm watching my gameplay back. It's clear to me how tentatively I was playing. Just kind of, is the game going to work? Is this parry going to take? Will this evade work? That sort of thing. When you're playing that way, it's just not good. I did that intentionally. I wanted to punish his SP1 with the heavy because I know how to play Archangel. I know the spacing, and there are ways that you can really maximize your damage and aren't just parry heavy. So I intentionally did that. I knew the fight was safe. I messed up. But if I start landing that and playing Archangel the way I know I can play him, that'll help kind of get the momentum going, right? Yeah, get my mojo back, so to speak. Now, Tater's placed this Horseman pre-fight. That's why you don't see Archangel on my team, but I have the Horseman pre-fight. Tater's placed it with his Apocalypse. I went in and just melted this guy. I really don't know much about what Psycho Man does. Usually I read up on the defenders. I did a little bit. It seems like he has a potential to go unblockable on his SP2. I know his SP2 is very difficult to evade. But I talked to Taters. He's like, dude, you're going to kill him before it's just SP2. So here we go. This was a nice kind of like a gimme fight is what I would call it. It's just like, a gimme. It's easy, right? It's like a gimme putt or whatever. So that's done again. And then I did not know I was going to be taking this Storm X on Rage. It was reassigned somewhere along the way. And it was, I think Lizer was going to be taking it. And I think they realized like Archangel is a fantastic option. And so that happening again, too, when your BG leaders show confidence in you, I think that's a big deal, and you can do that with like any sort of leader at work or whatever. When they show confidence in you, especially after you've made a mistake, that's a really nice sign. In my opinion, they're a great leader. So they sent me in to do this. We knew that she would glance quite a few of my hits, but Archangel, and I know there's a lot of talk like, oh, Sig 1's plenty. Sig 1 is plenty, but if you can get more on his signature. Mine, I think, is 151, which means with just one neurotoxin, we are increasing our chance to shut things down. With 2, we are even more. At 3, of course, we've got it. But you're seeing this, right? Now we've got 1 neuro up. So let's see. She's got a high chance to glance. We're seeing some hits land, though, right? And so I love that. I love having him at a nice high sig because once we get this shut down, she's going to stop glancing. We've got only 1 neuro there. That's fine. I know how to evade her special 1. So if this takes a minute or 2, I am A-okay. That is not going to be a problem. And I'm feeling good. You can see the evades are happening again, right? The confidence in it to go ahead and do it. My BG leaders showed confidence in me. And this is what I kind of talk about. When you guys watch my videos, I know what it is. You've told me what it is you like about them. And it's the difference between taking this seriously or being really important and having people who actually care. I have war planners who actually care about the people in their BG. They take it seriously and it's important, but they genuinely care. And that is a big deal. You see, look, they're like congratulating me. They knew it was like, oh, Vega doesn't normally die. He's died now. And so let's help the guy out, right? And so you're going to see me, because this is the conversation that happens, is the SIG on AA waste. And I'm one of the big proponents of like, if you're trying to take extremely tough fights in war, you want to know that you're shutting off the ability accuracy at 3 neuros. And if you can shut it off at 2 or at 1, that's even better. So I like it. But if you're not using it for war, I can understand the argument of him just being at SIG 1. I really think, though, if you're just calling it a waste, I don't know. So here we go. We're going up against this Mysterio. Came up with a nice fight strategy. I'm going to use an SP1. We use the invulnerability, and I'm going to use my SP1. And then you're going to see me. I'm holding blocks. I'm also going to shorten my combos because I'm just going to repair him. He loves to throw his heavies. He loves Mysterio and his heavies. Those go together like peanut butter and jelly. So you see me though. I'm holding block. Hercules is holding out the hand, saying talk to the hand. And so we're just going to do that. I'm going to do that. I'm going to repair as much as possible because I don't want him to throw his SP1. There's the heavy out of nowhere. I was like, dude, are you okay? I was nowhere near you. But all right. Here we go. And it's just going to do this over and over. Herc is so powerful. I don't want Mysterio to throw his SP1. We've talked about how this is a way to basically encourage the AI to not throw their special because they're reading it as you're blocking. And then you saw I was shortening my combo, 3 or 4 hits, because it's after a light, I'm able to get my block back up quickly. And then that does not give the AI a time to read it there as being an opening. So it's a short combo, immediately hold your block, and then you're going to need to know how to repair it. And you can he never even threw one. Herc does so much damage. We got through that, so I didn't have to worry about the damage back mechanics or anything like that. You guys have seen me take this fight before, but I'm feeling good now. I've got my mojo back, and so we're going to go in, going to use the invulnerability here. I'm Horseman, though. I've got White Magneto on the team. Like, everything that Archangel can have to increase his ability accuracy is present, and this is the deliciousness with which this guy can do things. Oh boy, he is fun. We've only got one bleed up there, but went from 1 bleed to 3 neurotoxins in 1 heavy. That's what can happen when he's a Horseman. You've got him all ramped up there with White Magneto. We've got the pre-fight on, which I wasn't supposed to play, so I'm still me making some mistakes here. Thank you, Taters and Lizer, for the patience with me. But this is ridiculous. This is fun. And remember, folks, even if she had gotten to her SB3, which I guess she is going to, I'd forgotten about this, it's not going to do any damage. She could throw this 2 more times, and as long as I've got my charges on my indestructible, we are totally fine. She's going to do absolutely no damage. And then we can move on to the highlight, which it was my chance to get some revenge on Wolverine Weapon X and his stupid diaper wearing self. All right. So now they gave me the option. Yeah, I could use Hercules on the boss, or I could use Archangel. And I did quite a few practice fights. And I like Archangel significantly better for this fight. I've soloed Weapon X's before, the Act 7.1 with Archangel. And what happens is when Weapon X goes berserk, his AI becomes even more berserk. And you can pretty much reliably backdraft intercept him. The issue is if he just doesn't. Because I have a Horseman, we've confirmed it now, I'm 100% bleed resistant. So even if he hits me and lands those bleeds, it should do minimal damage, especially because I will go unstoppable on the first hit I take, again, because I'm a Horseman. They threw up a tremendous amount of debuffs, which was interesting because one of them actually I did not want. Let's see, is the suppression field. I mean, it's going to decrease the defensive players' defensive combat power rate, meaning hitting them, he's going to get less power from it, which can often be a really nice thing. However, in a node where I'm trying to continuously push him over a bar of power, this is going to work against me. However, in the fight, I realized it was very helpful in setting up the fight. So let's go ahead and watch this unfold. I'm extremely excited about this. He's going to go into rage. For those who aren't familiar with Weapon X, he's going to go into rage when he has 25 of his berserk charges. I believe he gets 10 from throwing a special. And the reason why I prefer Archangel over Herc is because if you can get up enough neuros, you can turn off what should be a pretty long unstoppable. And if you turn off that unstoppable, you don't need to worry about it. So we're going to bait these heavies. So we'll continue to bait these heavies and get as many neuros up as we can. And this is where the lower defensive combat power rate actually came in and helped me out a lot, because it allowed me to get to 5 neurotoxins before we even send him into his berserk, which was really cool. Now, this is where the debuff siphon, or whatever it was called, the defensive combat rate lowered, hurt a little bit because you're seeing I'm having more trouble pushing Weapon X over bar of power. And right there, this is where this could have been dangerous. He's completely unblockable. I got a hit, but the Horseman helped me out by sending me unblockable, unstoppable, as we had talked about. So that safety net was good. And then now I'm just going to continue to backdraft intercept and do what I can to just keep him over bar power, push him over bar power, use my specials just to push him over bar power if I need to. Oh, this felt so good. This felt so good. The game worked. My BG leaders showed confidence in me, which really helped me get my war mojo back, which felt good. And then I got to watch Weapon X just bleed out, which is my favorite thing to do with Archangel, is just watch the defender bleed out. I love doing it. Boss solo, anyone who tells you the Archangel has to be able to parry stun, I don't know. And Archangel is just an absolute beast. You're going to see my thoughts on him right here. So, but thank you to Taters and Lizer for sticking with me. Thanks to the BG for, the patience there. We'll get back on track. We are back on track. And this was another close war. S.A.S. is a very, very good alliance. And unfortunately, we've come up on the short end of the stick as well again. So there's only so good I can really feel about this. It's nice to be up there on the MVPs. I imagine there'll be a PR. I'll be fairly high because it took a significant amount of fights and soloed the boss. But I had the one death in BG3. We only had one death. It was mine. That stupid death to Doom. It is what it is. Got to put that into the past. We've got 2 weeks left, and I am very, very excited to do those and continue on kicking butt and try to scratch and crawl our way into Masters. I hope your war seasons are going well and you're enjoying it. I hope you're enjoying this. And then if I have weak stats, I think I'm going to have week 2 stats. I will show them. If I don't, then thank you so much for watching. Take care. I hope you either learned something, were entertained, or even better, a little bit of both. Don't forget to like, subscribe. Thanks so much for watching. Take care.